Okay, while Lisa continues to get ready, we are live. At least I hope we are. How's everybody doing? Have a little bit of bad news to share with you right off the bat here to get the show started. But got to make sure we're all set here before I get into it, because I don't want to be just talking to myself.
I have bad news too.
Oh. You do?
Yeah, I guess it didn't charge, so I'm going to have to do the stream on my phone.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Sound and video is good. Thank you, Mark K. Pets. Okay, and Jeepers, and yep, Leslie, thank you all very much. So, all three of those people probably already know what this announcement is. Why? Because their names are green. What does that mean? That means they are channel members. Speaking of channel members, Adam Mason Duran. I was a fan of Duran, so I'm going to say you pronounce that Duran. Became a new member just before the stream started. Welcome to the team, my friend.
That's noise.
We got a plane flying overhead, which is not usual here. Got to start it off with a little bit of bad news. I mean, you know, you might consider it to be bad news. Not everybody will, but so our life, our business, our everything that we have going on has kind of caught up with us a bit. And we have a ton of things happening right now that are super exciting and super overwhelming. But those things that are happening are unfortunately going to cause us to not be able to stream the next 2 weeks. As far as I know, it's only going to be 2 weeks, to be determined later. But we do have a little bit of good news with that. And that is that we will be replacing the missing live streams with videos. And let me just tell you something. We filmed one of those videos today. And I got to tell you, it was some of the most fun I have had in a very long time.
It was fun.
Making a video. It was a blast. We both had a good time. We're both in it. One of us is in it much longer than she thought she was going to be in it.
I was supposed to just be the camera person.
But she took over. It wasn't me. She took over. But it's great. And it turned out to be a really good video. I think you all are going to enjoy that. So that's going to be coming out next Thursday. And then we have another one planned for the following Thursday. So even though we won't have live streams for you, we will have the videos for you. And the one video is so far, with the rough cut of the video already edited, it's about 30 minutes long. So you'll get plenty of us if you are missing us. And that would mean so much to me if you were missing us. But you'll have us, because we just won't be live, but you'll have us, and you'll have a fun video to watch that will certainly be more entertaining to watch than these live streams are. So that's that. Other news. This is something y'all are going to want to see. I promise you're going to want to see this. She probably doesn't want me to talk about it, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Oh.
She did something spectacular this week.
Oh. Well, that wasn't really meant to be aired, but only because I played around with a tank, just scaping it, but there's a reason behind it. But I like it. It looks great. She's being
very modest. She rescaped her 125 with the discus in it, and with the big discus in it, and it is amazing. And I'm not saying that because she's my wife. I mean it. It is incredible, and you're gonna want to see that. That will be in that video. That's not what the video's about, but I made sure, I was like, we have to show this because it looks incredible.
Not even at it's not even 100% yet, because there's some other things that need to be done with it, like the Raminos that I have quarantined. I haven't put them in it yet, and there's things that will happen with that tank over the next week that'll be different than what it looks like now.
Well, naturally, I mean, the plants are very small. They're going to grow in, and that'll be dramatic. And yeah, I mean, it was
the other part, but yeah. And the plants growing in, certain ones that will be much Much bigger.
See, what happens is you're talking and I'm reading comments and then I don't hear what you say and then I look like a jerk. So sorry,
that's all
didn't
right.
mean that.
It wasn't even, it's fine.
So, but yeah, you're going to want to see that. It's about a little 2-minute, maybe not even that, maybe a 1-minute little section of the video. And you're going to want to see that because the tank looks incredible. Again, I'm not just saying this because it's my wife. It is true. I've been talking about that tank ever since you showed me that for the first time. So Leslie Perry asked, so will the videos play at the same time as the live stream? No, they will be available in the morning. Mm-hmm. So you'll have all day to watch them.
If you want to save it and watch it at 8 o'clock, you can.
Yeah. There's no rules. You can watch it 26 times that day if you want. I mean,
Please.
Thank you if you do, but yeah, it's, that we have to do that. I do not see it as a permanent thing. It's for the next couple of weeks, but then, we'll have to play it by ear after that. And the other thing I want to mention too, if you are a channel member and you were not able to make it to our members only stream, which was an hour and a half ago, we will still be doing that. Probably not Thursday night, but we will still be doing a members only stream. It'll just be, some random time. So be on the lookout for that. And the beautiful thing is YouTube is finally sending out notifications for channel members. So if you're a channel member, make sure you have notifications for this channel turned on. And then when we do go live, you'll get that notification. So
I want to read a comment. Sharpie Aquatics said at KG Tropical, so sorry we weren't able to make the live stream last week, but now just want to tell you what a pleasure it was meeting you at Aquashell Chicago. You guys were great. It was great meeting you too.
Yes, and I remember Sharpie because he made sure, he was like, don't you forget me. But that's an easy name to remember.
Yeah.
Yes, it was an absolute pleasure to meet you. Another one that we got to meet that day who also said a similar thing was Ligate 12. It was a pleasure meeting you, John, and thanks for trying to help me with my interesting issue I was having. Yeah. I don't feel so bad about that because Jason also didn't know the answer to that question. I kind of thought that was one of those things that Jason was going to go, oh yeah, that's a this, that. But he didn't even know. Ligate had us all stumped. Ligate and his glorious beard and his 3 adorable children. He did exactly what I told him to do, by the way. Stood there and stared at me awkwardly. And it was fun. But
that's awesome.
But yeah, that was cool meeting you too. So the most exciting thing that happened in the fish room this week was the rescape of that tank. I'm just going to be honest with you. But she has also been doing a lot of work on her side of the fish room, which actually both sides of the fish room are hers. But, right. The side that's primarily hers, doing an amazing job out there, getting it all. I'm somebody that likes things to be organized. When things are all over the place, it drives me crazy. She did not do it to appease me, but she has been getting out there and getting it all organized. And
well, it's mine too, and I like it nice and neat.
Yes, it's been wonderful. We did have the video that we filmed today, which is about some products that we're testing that we may carry on the website down the road. And it it made for a very funny video, very fun video. It is not a product review. It is more of a, hey, this is what we have. Let's play around with it. Let's see what we can do. And it was a good time. So you're going to want to make sure you check that out. Other than that, we didn't really have any major things happen in the fish room this week. So don't really have a lot to update you on, except the concern that I had that I was talking to the channel members about in the members only stream. Did you have anything you wanted to say? Because this is going to take me a couple minutes to explain this, the thing with the lid.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to make this as quick as possible. When we moved 6 months ago, one of the lids on the 240 broke. And it just so happened we have a cabinet that came with this house that had a large piece of glass on the lid or the top of this cabinet. I took that off and it fit perfectly into the opening for this lid that broke. As far as the width goes, it fit perfectly, but it was about a foot too long. So what I ended up doing was allowing the lid to hang off the back of the tank. The tank is not sitting perfectly level. We didn't know this until we got it filled up with water. And the tank not sitting level, the water being up so high on that side, and the lid overhanging the back, it allowed water to build up on that lid and kind of roll off and leak onto the floor. It didn't happen all the time. It wasn't it wasn't like a constant thing. It would come and go for some reason. Today it came. She texted me, "You got a leak on the 360." I'm like, "Oh, I know exactly what it is." I finally today took care of that by cutting a piece of polycarbonate and putting it in the place of that broken lid. This is a temporary fix. We're going to be ordering a tank from Custom Aquariums very soon. I'm going to order a new lid, because they cut it perfectly, custom fit to fit in there. And it's really thick glass. No, thanks. Not interested. Thank you. They use very thick glass that is too thick for me to cut on my own. So I'm going to order it from them. This problem will be permanently eliminated. But while we were talking on the members only stream, I kind of had this realization that, if I'm being honest, scared me a little bit. The polycarbonate fits well and it does a great job being a lid, but we have a cat out there and that cat is fat and big, and he probably weighs 25 or 30 pounds. He's a hefty cat. He likes to get up on top of the 360 and then jump up onto the shelves that are on the walls and sleep up on the shelves. And then when he comes down, he jumps down onto the 360. And I started having this nightmare play out in my head that he was going to jump down, his fat self, land on that polycarbonate panel and just go straight through into the tank. Now, I ain't worried about that. He can instinctively get out of that. I would not worry that he would fall. No, he could get out. I wouldn't worry about him falling in and drowning, because I mean, that's a concern, but I feel like he is, he could get out if that were to happen. What I would worry about is he goes through it and he takes the lights in with him and then pop, you know what I'm saying? Now the lights are sealed off and they're supposed to be, safe. But cats have claws. He'd be scraping to get out. Maybe he would hit one of those wires and strip the sheathing off of it, and boom, there it all goes. And he and the fish turn out to be, so that started freaking me out. Like while we were in the middle of the member stream,
I know,
it started freaking me out. And
you ran out there right after it was over. As
soon as I was done, went out there, and Carl was on top of the 240.
Go figure.
So that's what he does. He goes out there and he hangs out on top of these tanks. So we got to make sure that the lids are on good and they're on tight and they can support his fat butt. So went out there. I left the polycarbonate panels in place, but I put that big piece of glass back on it. But what I did was I put it sideways so that it's not hanging off anymore. It's just up there. And it's a nice little landing pad for him if he jumps down, and he won't end up in the tank.
That's good.
The things that we go through.
I worry about him out there. I worry about him jumping down and breaking one of the thinner lids. Because he's so I don't care. He's just going to jump. He has no care in the world.
I just don't see that happening because... I mean, he jumps on the 360. He jumps on all three of the Custom Aquariums tanks, and they have the nice big thick lids on them.
But it's my plant pot he breaks.
That's true. He does do that.
I can't believe he did that.
So, yeah. If you were here for the member stream, you saw me freaking out about that. Before we spent 40 minutes talking about stand-up comedy, I went out and took care of that issue as soon as we were done.
That was hilarious. Oh, I want to show something we got in the mail today, and I thought it was super cute. And I think you'll think it's cute too.
If you don't, there's something wrong with you.
John and Margaret, is it DG?
I'm not sure how to say their name. Hopefully you're in here. You can help us out with pronouncing the name.
I thought it was so funny. They sent a picture that they drew a beta on.
Here, I'll show it so that you're still on the screen.
It's on a paper towel. They drew it on a paper towel. I thought that was so cool. how do you, I would mess up. Like the colors would smear or whatever. I just thought it was super cute.
I mean, it is.
I
it's
can't even draw a
wild
smiley face on a paper towel.
when you consider that it's on a paper towel.
Yeah, it's a paper towel.
That's the most amazing thing about it.
I just had to share that because it was really cool, and I just wanted to say thank you.
That'll go up in the fish room. Don't you worry.
Absolutely. And okay, I want to show something, but I want to do a giveaway.
Oh.
All right. If you can guess who the artist is of the pictures that I'm about to show you, the first person, pay attention.
I don't know who it is.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Is it on the back?
You know who it is. You know who it is. Zen knows who it is too. So
I mean, I have a pretty
significant
who
it is.
guess who it is. Okay.
Actually, let me look. Is it? It's right. Yeah, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you knew that already, but you wanted to
I
be
figured
for sure.
there is a particular style,
Okay.
so yeah.
So if the first person that guesses who the artist is of these pictures wins a $50 gift card to our website.
What?
Shut up. You do. If you are the first person. So pay attention. I hope Zen is in here because she knows. Have you seen her?
I'm pretty sure I saw her earlier. Oh, so you can't do that. Can't do that.
I have to. Yes. Anyways, so I'm
It's
going to show
not
that.
fair.
I'm going to show. Stop. I'm going to show the picture starting now.
And you have to say it starting now.
Starting now. Who is the artist of this picture?
And you only get one guess.
One guess.
Starting now.
Starting now.
Do, 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 do. We're waiting because it's coming. It's not us. It's not ourself. I wish I had that kind of talent.
It's not Bex. We showed hers last week. It was gorgeous, and you should definitely check out her site. Jenna P.
Look at that.
Jenna P. won a $50 gift certificate to keepfishkeeping.com.
Now,
Way to
Whip,
go.
you know I love you, but there's a reason why you didn't win, and you know it.
Because you said it, you spelled his name wrong.
You spelled his name wrong, and you also guessed before she even showed the
I
picture,
know.
and that is cheating.
So I have two, and let me tell you a story about these. Aren't they adorable?
I love them.
So Sam had generously donated I don't remember which one, I think it was this one, donated it to the raffle at Aquashella, and I put in a bunch of tickets and I didn't win it. And I was like, oh, because I really love the artwork and I really like, books and stuff like that, and artwork is my favorite to win there. And I didn't win, and I was shocked, and I was like disappointed at the same time. And Chattanooga Ed, afterwards, I guess felt really sorry for me for not winning it. And he went and he bought me one. And then Sam gave him two for one instead of just one. And I thought that was super sweet of Ed. And I just want to make sure, that Sam is recognized. He has a website as well, and he does really great work. So check him out.
Sam is a special friend.
Yes.
I adore that man.
We have lots of his artwork already, but I didn't have that.
All 5'3" of him. I I love hanging out with Sam. He is a blast.
He really is.
But I just have to say, and I'm saying this is the truth here, folks. I would not steer you in the wrong direction. Chattanooga Ed is quite possibly the nicest human being that's ever set foot on this planet.
Yeah.
And I'm being real. I mean, I'm being honest with you. It is true. I've never met somebody like him. I really haven't. I mean, I try to be a nice guy. You're a super nice person most of the time, much more often than me. But we had nothing compared to that guy. He is a special case.
He's so much fun to hang out with too, doing raffles. He's so fun.
Yeah, I can't be around for the raffles because I'm like, oh,
he would
no.
be so much fun to go to bingo with.
Well,
yeah.
But yeah, that's I can't speak highly enough of Ed. And we spent Sunday night hanging out with him.
Yeah, and Carrie and James, Fish and Fever, and Shelby
Grant and Shelby came by for a little bit. And of course, Jesse was there with them
for a little while before he went to go work more. Yeah,
because people needed help, so Jesse had to go. So that was that it's not the first time I've hung out with Ed, but he's just a special human being. And you know what? I think that you can see that when you watch his live streams, when he's with either on his channel or on somebody else's channel. That is the true man. It really is. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. It's like, how can somebody be that nice?
I know, it was so surprised. I mean, it was the very end of the show. It was pretty chaotic, at the end of the show. And we all had all of our winnings. And then he went and got me those. And I just thought that was so super sweet. And I meant to mention it last week, but I got sidetracked with everything. But yeah.
His guy that he hangs out with a lot, that Fish from Fever, polar opposite. I don't even understand. No, I'm kidding. James is okay too, but we all know, and James would admit, Ed's the guy. He really is. So can't speak more highly of that guy. And
speaking of Ed too, he wanted me to go check out this booth that was there. The booth, the owner actually has a fish store where they live at.
And he's the one that owns Aquaticon.
Yeah, and he did Aquaticon. So he had a booth, but he has a fish store too. Mm-hmm. It's their local fish store. But he has a website, and it's called I'm a Reefer, www.imareefer.com. And Ed wanted me to go there and check out all the t-shirts and stuff, because he got a shirt that was super cute. It was of a human being looking into like an aquarium, and it's like, this is what we see, meaning the fish. So I had said how much I really liked that shirt. So he took me over there, and so the owner, and I can't remember his name, I feel bad, he was like, oh, I'll give you a shirt too. So he gave me this shirt. It says, what does it say? Something about, is it my hobby
gets me?
Oh yeah, my hobby gets me wet. And we all know what that means in the fish keeping world. So I just thought it was hilarious, and I wanted to show that. But you can also get it on that website. And there's so many t-shirts, and they're just funny t-shirts. And it has to do with like fish keeping. So yeah.
But before you think it's too weird, because I know what all you guys are thinking, it's supposed to be, the shirt's supposed to look wet.
It's like, it looks like the shirt is water and it's all wet, and my hobby gets me wet. Well, but you know what? Every single day, it really does.
There's another way that can be read, and I'll be honest.
And I think that's what it was meant to be.
That's the way I read it for the first time. So if you have also felt that, you're not alone. Robert, maybe. Are we talking Robert Lupton? That's another amazing human being. There's a lot of amazing human beings in our community, and I try really hard to be included in that group. I just don't think I fit. I try, but sometimes my mouth gets me in trouble, and I say things that people like Ed or Rob would never say. And so that keeps me from getting my membership card to the Nice Guy Club. But Ed and Jesse and Rob, they're definitely in that group. And a lot of other people. Whip, I would put you in that category too.
Oh, yeah,
even though you wouldn't want me to. And even though you go up escalators the wrong way, I would definitely put you in that group too. Unless you do a song this week that I can't get the answer to, especially when it's a Stain song and you humiliate me in front of 44,000 people watching, and you put up a lyric that's one of my favorite bands of all time, one of their most popular songs of all time, and I can't get it because I'm under pressure, because I'm on the spot in front of millions of people. How dare you? Give me a softball today if you're going to do that. Otherwise, I'm revoking your card to the Nice Guy Club.
So Zen Ginger just got here. She's 26 minutes late. It's okay. We understand. I'm just giving you a hard time, Zen. But I had mentioned Sam Scales And if you have his website, could you share the link, please, Zen? Thank you so much. Because Zen is awesome like that.
She definitely is.
We were talking about Sam recently, too. That's why I knew she would have it.
Sam Scales and Ed and Rob Lupton, they have an effect on people.
And Mel, she's so sweet.
Like I said, there's a lot of people.
Mel's a sweetheart.
It's one of those that you can be like, I'm just so mad right now. And then you see one of those people and you're like, oh, I feel better. It just put a smile on your face.
Yeah.
And that's a rare quality in people, especially in today's world.
Oh,
that's a rare quality.
True. Thank you, Zen. And Zen's super sweet too. Like if I'm ever like frustrated or something, I'm like messaging her and she sends me a funny emoji or something. She's so funny.
That's perfect.
Not emoji, one of those, what are they called when it's of yourself?
GIFs, GIFs, or...
No, it's the cartoon of yourself. We made them, I made one up of us a long time ago, but they're much better now.
Caricature? Is that what
Maybe.
it is?
She'll send me one of her as that, and it's hilarious. I get a kick out of it.
Jamie McDonald has been a member for 48 months.
Whoa. Is that like the first member ever?
I feel like that is a record. I don't know. I would have to look because I know there's some like Paul Martin Zen has been one for a long time. That's like, I don't think I've ever seen 48 months. That is wild, Jamie. That you are the king of members. And anyone else who's been a member as long as you have. Luis Avelas, I'm really sorry if I'm saying that badly. And there he is right there. So, we appreciate all the content. Glad to be a part of the community. Well, we are so glad you're a part of it. And it makes me sad if I've said your name wrong. I hope I'm not. Avatar. I'm like, why is everybody saying Avatar? What that's what she's talking about. Like the cartoon of her is an avatar.
Oh, okay.
Joe Provenzano, $5 towards a fruitful 2 weeks. Still working for you guys. Yeah, that's the thing.
Aw, thank you.
We're still loaded down. We're still going to have plenty of things to do. We're not going to take 2 weeks off of streaming just so that we can relax. I mean, it's just that we've got some big things happening right now, and they're all good things. Nothing bad at all. It's just making it hard to do this the next 2 weeks. After that, we should be good, but we'll have to see. Sean Damon, hi, John and Lisa. Will miss your live streams, but as a member, have used Extreme Monster Pellets for Oscars. Was thinking about trying for Oscars and Jags. Listen to me. Everything works for Oscars.
Right.
We have absolutely fed Monster to our Oscars, and they gobble it up like it's candy.
I gave them some last night, as a matter of fact.
Yep, we have a can out there. It is in the rotation. Yes, it's the correct naming. Okay, good. Thank you. I really like when people say, yes, you're saying my name right, or they say, no, you need to say it this way. So thank you for clearing that up, Louise. But yeah, Monster is a great pellet. I don't understand why it's not more popular than it is. I mean, you got some heavy hitters out there like Northfin and stuff like that make an absolutely amazing pellet. But when you think about it, we have the carnivore pellets from Northfin that I we pretty much feed exclusively to our bikers, and they gobble it up like eating Cookie Crisp. I mean, they absolutely love that stuff. And the reason why we really love that is because it sinks pretty fast. And so I shouldn't even say I feed them once a week. She feeds them the other 6 times a week. Yeah. We feed the Oscars, either the freeze-dried jumbo krill from Tetra or the jumbo carna sticks from Hikari.
They stink, though.
Or
I don't like feeding them those.
You're probably putting too many in.
I don't put that much in.
They gobble those up, and those are floating. The Monster floats a little bit, and then it starts to slowly sink. The carnivore pellets from Northfin immediately sink. So we can feed the Oscars and then drop those Northfins in, and the Oscars are occupied, and the food all goes down for the bikers and the plecos. So, and the carnivore doesn't sell as well as other foods either. So maybe it's, you know, when people get to that place, their fish are really big and they're, you know, 12, 13 inches like our Oscars are. People start to assume, well, there's not going to be a manufactured food for fish that big. So I'll feed them frozen cocktail shrimp, or I'll feed them, you know, frozen tilapia or salmon or whatever. And that's great. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think the reason why monster and carnivore don't sell as well is because people just don't know it's there. Maybe that's a video idea.
I think that's a great idea.
Sean Damon, feeding monster fish.
Should I do it? Since
that's a video that's only been done 73,000 times, but not on our channel.
Just kidding.
Yeah, you should. I mean, you're the one that feeds them most of the time. We'll look into that. As a matter of fact, we're not going to look into it. I'm going to put it on the list right now, Sean Damon.
Pimpin' Shrimp said my husky ate my brand new can of extreme curl flakes before my fish could try it.
Oh, no.
I'm telling you, my problem is the cats in the fish room. Every time I open up that bag, what's that large bag for the
That's the carnivore
bikers?
pellets.
Okay, well, they're bigger. Yeah, the carnivore pellets.
They look like Cookie Crisp.
Yeah, I open up the bag and I'll get, you know, some food out, and I turn my back to go feed them, and I look back around and Carl's entire head is inside the bag, his body's sticking out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he loves that stuff.
We had a very interesting question just asked in the chat. We don't only do super chats here, folks. I see the chat too. Boy 101, I think that's how you say it. Hey, KG Tropicals, is magnolia leaves good for betta fish?
Well, as a matter of fact, I use magnolia leaves in my alien sorority. I have them.
We have 3 magnolia trees on this property.
And you know what? I love it. I
we have 2. I'm sorry.
No, we have 3. 1, 2, 3. So I go outside and I have this huge tote. We have 3.
We have 1 by the fish house and 1 out on the other side of the driveway.
And the one that you were like, no, I'm not going to cut it to look like the other ones because it's a little one.
That's the one on the other side of the driveway that I'm talking about.
And then there's other one. There's 3.
There's 3.
I know.
Sorry.
So anyways, I go out and I collect a bunch of them, you know, especially, well, of course, the dried up ones. And I stick them in this large tote because I collect them. I absolutely love them. They are like the best in my opinion, but I replace them probably every 2 months in my sorority, my beta sorority, the alien one, because it's like the dark water tank. And then I use them in a lot of other tanks that I have breeding going on in, and then I have some with my discus. So yeah.
And go ahead and talk about who you gave some to.
Oh, yeah.
A legend.
I packed a bunch of them up and took them to Mel when we were at Aquashella. Melanie Holmes. She is the 2nd place winner of the Fluval escaping contest.
And a damn rock star is what she is.
See, the thing is, Mel, I would say Mel and Tanner are... But Mel Moore, maybe, are the closest to my style as far as, you know, the dark water look, the leaves, nature. You know, we have so much nature here on our property, and I collect things all the time. And I research just because I want to make sure it's safe and everything I've used is safe, and it works. And it works in the breeding tanks too very well.
This is one we can spend quite some time on. From oh man, I am not going to do this name right, and I'm very sorry. Risa, Risa. I'm really sorry. Mendez. I'm bad at this, but you have what looks like a Chihuahua as your avatar, and I love that because I've got 2 real ones laying right behind her right now. I accidentally did not acclimate my new pea puffer. was super excited. We've all done that. It's been 24 hours. He seems fine and eating. Should I still be worried? No. Because being excited and swimming around and eating and doing the things that fish do means your fish is happy. And you dodged the bullet. But here's the thing. No, I didn't mean to say it that way. I don't mean to say like, but there's also bad news. No, it's not that. Acclimation is very important, right? I mean, we all know that. However, sometimes you might be a little overzealous, like you were, or it could be you have an emergency. We've had it before where the bag breaks that the fish is in, and it's like, we got to get this fish in the tank right now. Mm-hmm. We don't have the chance to do any kind of long-term, we got to get them in there. And you put them in there and it's fine. The thing that can shock them a bit would be temperature, would certainly be a thing. Also, the water in the bag is probably pretty full of ammonia, and then you put them into nice clean water, and that, might startle them a little bit, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing and that they're going to die. I mean, I think that too many people are worried about the whole acclimation process. And the reality is, 999 times out of 1,000, you're taking a fish from an ugly environment, which is a bag that they've been pooping in since they left the pet store or since they got put in the box to be shipped. And they're happy to get out of that nasty room. Imagine yourself, this is horrible, but imagine yourself being trapped in a bathroom with no windows and no ventilation whatsoever. Ugh. And you're in there with 12 dudes that look like Bert Kreischer, and they all just came back from Chipotle. And you're in the bathroom and you're trapped with them. And not only do they look like Bert Kreischer, and which I look like Bert Kreischer, so it's not like I'm making fun of him, but they also are smokers.
Ugh.
And they're in that room and they're using the bathroom after Chipotle and they're smoking. Wouldn't you be really thrilled when the door opens up and you can run out and be in fresh air? Well, that's the way I like to think it is for fish, because they're trapped in that small bag that they can't help but poop in and pee in and stuff like that, even if they've just been in there for 45 minutes. And when you put them in the tank, they're going out into the fresh, cool, clean atmosphere. It's not as bad as people tend to think. Yes, some fish are more sensitive, and some fish come with the recommendation of drip acclimating them and all of that kind of stuff. I've been keeping fish for a very, very, very long time. I've never once drip acclimated a fish. Ever. So there you go. I did drip acclimate shrimp because Rob told me I should. And so I listened to Rob. But that's not a fish. I've never drip acclimated a fish. It's float them in the tank for 30 minutes and then get them out of there, put them straight in the water, and you're good. And it's never been a problem for me.
Right. Guess who's here?
I have no idea.
Eric Wyrock. He's the one that was blocked, and we don't know why. So I just want to publicly say we are sorry about that, but we're glad to have you back.
I don't know why that happened. I'm going to be honest. I don't remember it being me, but things happen. You know what? Somebody in here just brought up the name Danielle. And let me see who. Let's see, Danielle. So there's something I've been needing to do for a couple of weeks now, or at least a week. I need to curse out a fan named Danielle. I think it was Danielle. I don't think it was Daniel. I'm pretty sure it was Danielle, right?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
If this person that I'm about to talk about is in the chat, you are going to know who you are.
Uh-oh.
And I would like for you to respond so that I know that it's Danielle and not Daniel. We received a package last week. I'm going to say last week. And in that package was 2 large bags of these.
And they're good.
This is how much is left. There was no note. There was no nothing. It was just 2 of these. What are they? 8-pound bags? No, I think they're 1 pound bags of candy corn, which is, I don't care what anybody says, one of my favorite things on earth.
Oh,
it is the
yeah.
thing I love
They're so
Halloween
good.
for. I love the pumpkins. I love the chocolate ones. I love I love them all.
They're all good.
And Danielle, the only way we knew that it was who it was the address on the box. But then my dumb self threw the box away. We have a horrible trash service. We have a dumpster that's right outside of our barn. And we need that because we're constantly getting boxes in that we have to throw away and stuff. And our box, our trash service, they come by once every 6 weeks or so.
They come by when they feel like it. They're paid to come by every other week, and they come by when they feel like it. And I'm ready to call them up and be a mean, nasty, rude Karen.
Yep.
And just tell them, because you've been good. You'll email, you'll put the complaint in that it was missed. But I'm at that point, I'm ready to just let it all out. Like, I'm waiting for a bad day.
The reason why it bothers me is because we're paying full price for a
Yes.
service that's being done.
Whenever they want to
Yeah,
come.
whenever it's convenient for them. The thing is, we live around a whole lot of very large established farms, and one of their headquarters is right across the street from us. They have a dumpster that's the exact same size as ours, and it's the same family, the same company that picks up for them, and theirs gets picked up every week. They never get missed, but they forget ours, and I hate it. So, yeah,
They won't forget us when I call.
I start to freak out.
It's going to be a bad one.
When it's Wednesdays and Thursdays, I want to get as much stuff in that dumpster as possible, just in case they decide they're going to come by and pick it up that day. And that's why I threw that box away, because I was like, oh, everything that's trash needs to go. And I was like, oh no, I don't remember the name, but I know it was Danielle. So if you are here, please show yourself so that I know that it was you. I know there is a Danielle in there. I don't know if it's that one, but yeah. And somebody said, who was it? I think it was Zen, said, the candy corn pumpkins are the best. They're all melty and full of diabetes.
That's so funny.
I don't eat much candy. But if those are staring at me in the face, they're going down. It's just going to happen. And, I think I do pretty well for, the rest of the time. I've been walking 3.5 miles a day. And that's a deliberate 3.5 miles. That's not like how many steps I do. That's in the mornings. You and I have been going. It's been
and it's
glorious.
funny because my steps always come out way more at the end of the day, and he blames it on me being shorter and taking more
She
steps.
takes little steps. I have a longer stride. So when we walk the same distance, she ends up having more steps than me.
Then maybe you should walk slower and take little steps too.
Walk
like this.
I'll look like an idiot out there just scurrying around. But, I try to do well, but...
Potential spam is calling me, you guys.
That is a vice. Oh.
Potential spam from Boston, Massachusetts.
Do you all remember?
I should answer and be like, hello? How can I help you? Domino's. Just kidding.
Boy 101, I really wish I could eat candy corn, but I have cavities. Yeah, I do too. But, one way or another, when you're determined like me, you're gonna get them in you somehow. But anyway, I try to do good most of the time. Thursday nights are pizza night. That's a fact. It's every Thursday we do that.
Yeah.
And then my candy corns. And so Danielle, or Daniel, but I think it's Danielle because I think it ended with an E, and you never see Daniel with it ending in an E.
I don't know.
Daniel, it is your fault that I have eaten probably 30,000 calories worth of candy over the last week, but they have been glorious. Thank you so much for that.
So why don't you answer the Danielle that's asked the same question 25 times in the chat?
Oh, is that the one?
I don't know.
It's one of those people, huh? Well, because it is
Just answer it.
the name Danielle, then I will do. You answer it. That's a beta question. That's your
No,
category.
it's not.
Can I put a beta fish in my
Oh.
tank with Dojo Loach and Cory Cats and Yo-Yo Loach and Neon Tetras?
For some
54 question marks.
I could have sworn it was an angelfish the first time it was asked. How weird. Has it been beta fish all the time? I guess it has been beta fish. Oh, okay. So let me reread that. And Yo-Yo Loach and Neon. That's a lot of Loach and Neon Tetra. I mean, the Neon Tetras, yeah. Cory Cats, yeah. I don't know what size tank you have. So it's like, I don't know how to answer that question, because you could have a 5-gallon tank, and I'm getting ready to tell you yes with all those fish. So please specify.
Somebody said candy corn is tied with Necco wafers as the worst candy ever. First of all, shame on you. Necco wafers, they're like eating a little piece of paper. Like they don't do anything for me. But candy corns are the best. And how dare you for saying anything but that. Leo 209 Aquatics, 953,771 people watching. So what's the new fish extreme food you posted on the video, eh? Are you from Canada? I don't think so. They always answer with A.
No, he's not.
I know he's from California. I know where he's at. I was
Okay.
making a joke. Did you post an extreme food that you're not
No.
supposed to? I don't know what you're talking about, Leo.
You're the one who posted the short yesterday. I didn't watch it, so I don't even know how to answer that.
Did I? But that wasn't a what? Let me see what this was. Wasn't it the one with the funny
Face or something?
fat goldfish face?
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Oh, 55
remember there
gallon.
being an extreme food in there. Overfeeding aquarium fish. Maybe I did mention it in that. I don't remember. But Extreme is working on some things. But I ain't going to tell you because I'm not allowed to. But they are working on some things. And, stay tuned to find out. That's all I can say.
Danielle said a 55 gallon. Danielle,
that's plenty of
I
room.
think that's fine. I mean, the only thing that I would think would be an issue would be a 55 gallon with a beta in it. If it's a long fin beta, might get a little tired because that's so much room for it to swim around, going up to the top. Just make sure there's plenty of like floaty things in there for the beta to rest on up top. So, but yeah, if your beta starts hiding and looking stressed out, then you might want to put the beta in a smaller tank.
I just did the blue 1-chip challenge and it was painful. So, I'm sorry. I just saw Whip's World. He threw me a softball today. I'm going to save that for later. So thank you. But it distracted me. Thank you, Whip. You helped me out there. But what was the daggone? Oh, the 1-chip challenge. See, I don't understand you people. I don't understand you people that torture yourself like that because, ew, like, no, I'm not interested. But having said that, I really enjoy watching Hot Ones, and I watch every episode, except for the one they put out today, because I don't know who that guy is. But if it's somebody I've heard of, love it. I love it. Ricky Gervais, probably the best one that they've ever done. But I'm a Ricky Gervais mark, and that is the name that when we were talking stand-up comedy, I was actually ashamed of myself for not bringing that name up because he's probably number one on my list. But I don't think I'll ever see him because he barely ever tours and she would not like him. So anyway,
Who?
Ricky Gervais.
Oh.
He's as good as any. I love the Ricky Gervais, but I love Hot Ones, but I don't understand why people do that to themselves. I understand why somebody would want to go to Hot Ones, but to be like, I'm going to try this chip. I don't understand you people. I mean, unless it's like on a dare or it's like, hey, I'll give you 20 grand if you do it. But to do it just to do it, I'll never understand that, because that is not fun. Like you said, painful. I'm not going to, no, why? I like hot. I like a little hot. And I like a specific hot. I like jalapeno hot. That flavor. Not a big fan of sriracha. You bought those chips the other day. They were like, ew.
Yeah, they were nasty. And I didn't like the ranch, the ranch Doritos, and they were like puffy. Why change the texture of a Dorito to that? Like, leave it alone. It's like trying to change Frosted Flakes to a Cheerio shape or something. It's like, leave it alone.
Yeah. Anyway, but I don't understand those people. Then Leo said, Carl was framed. It's his world. You guys just his guest. Yeah, but here's the thing. You don't live with Carl, Leo. And if you did live with Carl, you would understand. You would understand that when you have this fish room that you've dreamt of damn near your entire life, you finally have it, and that jerk is in there all day, every day. And you go in there in the morning and you open up the door and you're like, I wonder what Carl screwed up today.
No,
you don't live with that.
He doesn't do that.
He's bad. And you know he's bad. You're the one who complains about him more than I do.
He leaves a hairball all the time on the floor. That has to get cleaned up. And then, he does like to get into plants and, yeah.
But he is also very sweet and very cute. And he's got the cutest meow of anybody that we have.
He doesn't bite you, though.
No, he doesn't bite me.
He walks around, like, when it's between 6 and 8 o'clock at night when we're out, when I'm out in the fish room, he's hungry. And my cats are spoiled, and they get their dry food in the morning, and they get their wet food at night. Well, I come in, and then they get treats, too, when I come in. I got to give them treats.
And you wonder why Carl's fat.
No, but I will give Carl, like, one treat to every 5 that baby kitty gets. Like, I'll hurry up and give her, like, 4 or 5 treats, and I'll give him one somewhere else so he doesn't see it, like her pile. But anyways, when it's time to have the wet food at night, he'll let me know when he's ready and he needs me to feed him. Because I'll be walking around doing something and he'll just rub up against my leg and then all of a sudden bite my leg. And he'll do it over and over and over until I go to where I feed him. So it's like, ugh.
He is a sweet cat, though.
He is.
Adam Schoenwald, a fish became a snack. Half of its scales are gone and you can see its flesh. I put it in isolation so it can heal. Any tips on meds? That is the same story that we have told about an Oscar, not one of the 3 that we have right now, but an albino tiger that we had for a long time. He's in a lot of videos on our channel. As a matter of fact, he's in the first 2 videos on the channel with our 2 big arowanas. That happened with him. He was just annihilated by 2 red devils that we had with him. And it was one of those things where he was with these fish for a year and everything was fine. And then one day it just wasn't. And the entire side of his body looked like a fillet you would see at the grocery store. It was terrifying. And you used just water changes and aquarium salt, right? Did you medicate him at all?
I did use a medication, and I can't remember which one it was. It was an API product, though, back then. No. Oh. It wouldn't have been Melifix. It would have been an antibiotic so that it didn't get infected. I just don't remember which one.
General Cure, then, or erythromycin.
Erythromycin.
Okay.
Probably. I think it was erythromycin. But it wasn't at first. It was, I treated it with clean water. Clean water, heat to make him comfortable, because when I don't feel good, I want to be nice and warm and cozy. And salt, aquarium salt, and I did like at first daily water changes and then every other day. But I did end up putting an antibiotic in there just to prevent infection because it was so bad. But it was not the first thing I did. It was like after a few days.
The biggest thing that you have to understand with something that severe is that the fish should recover. It's going to take some time. I mean, that is one of those things that you're not going to see the fish looking back to normal in a week. It's going to take a while. That fish was months. It might
not be hungry for a little while. I know when I'm in pain because I hurt something, you know, broke my ankle or whatever, I'm not very hungry because you're not feeling good. So
it's true.
Don't freak out over that either.
Aquarium Insider, $20. Thank you so much for that, my friend. Carnivore is my favorite, especially for my ornate bikers now.
Oh.
Could not agree more. Like I said, we feed that pretty much exclusively for the bikers. And there's been dramatic growth with the ornate that we have. Eric Furlow brought that ornate up from Florida. The crazy person that he is, he brought it up as a gift for me. And also came to help move the aquariums with Whip's World and with his friend Eddie. It was an amazing thing. Couldn't believe he brought me that fish. He knew I'd been dreaming about that fish for a while. It was a little larger than half the size of the other two that we have.
Smaller.
And now he's the same size, possibly even going to be bigger than them very soon.
I will clarify, he meant smaller, not larger.
Well, no, I said he's half the size of ours, or, you know, a little bigger than half, maybe. I don't remember. I don't remember what I said 33 seconds ago, but
oh, maybe I just wasn't listening to you right.
The easier way of saying it is he was considerably smaller than my other two, and now he's the same size. Yeah. And he's been eating nothing but carnivore, and he eats it up like it's Cookie Crisp. And it's an amazing, amazing product. If you have bottom dwellers or top swimmers, and they're the monster fish variety, if you have catfish, if you have bikers, I would imagine even stingrays would eat this. I've never fed it to stingrays, but it's a great, great food. And it's not sold enough. I mean, people don't buy it enough. Maybe the bags are too big. It's too expensive. I don't know. But it's really good stuff. Stephen P. 2003, not going to say it, gifted another 5 KG Tropicals memberships. Every week he's doing this.
Thank you, Stephen. And Stephen and Jenna, because Jenna's part of that family too. And
technically now we have seen her more than we've seen him. Because he was too good to go to Chicago.
No.
It was too good for us.
He went to Oktoberfest.
I know. He should have come to Chicago with his wife.
Well, to be fair, you know, it's not like I haven't gone to an event without you before. And it's not like we might not do things like that in the future, you know, just to be at 2 places at once.
I would have gone to Chicago if I were you, Stephen. No, I'm just kidding.
So, Shengru...
Thank you, though, Stephen. That was nice of you.
Shengru asks, can I put guppies in my 26-gallon tank with my long fin beta? So, how much do you like your guppies? Because... I wouldn't be as concerned about the beta as I would the guppies, because in my experience, the beta has completely terrorized the guppies. So that's just my experience. Maybe some people have had better experiences than me, but.
The Northfin Carnivore is $45 a bag.
Wow, that's a lot for a bag.
It is big, but this is a 1 kilogram bag. I'm American. I don't know what a kilogram is, but what I will tell you is it's a big bag. It's a real big bag. It's huge. It's like 2 pounds. You know, do a translator and find out what that is in pounds. But you're getting a lot of food for that $45.99. And I can say it very confidently. You will not regret it, and you will feed your fish for a very long time, and you will be sold if you feed it to your fish. and you will say it is 100% worth that $45. Just saying. They do sell it in smaller bags. I elected not to bring those in for the website though, because I'm like, when you have these big pellets, they're 10 millimeter pellets. They're bigger pellets. When you have that in a small bag, you're not getting that much. So that's why I went with the big giant bags. That explains that. I would rather sell somebody a 45 pound, or not 45 pounds, a $45 giant bag of food than a $20 little teeny bag that only has like 85 pellets in it. You know, I want you to get a lot. 2.5 pounds. See, there you go. That's a lot. That's a lot of food for your bikers. So it's worth that $45. Rico stands smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo.
Captain Kangaroo.
Don't tell me I've nothing to do. I've heard that. I've heard that before, Rico Stan. That's from a movie, I think. But I can't draw a blank. You know, he's like 25 years older than us, so it's probably before our time.
What, Rico's Dan? You don't know who Captain Kangaroo is?
Of course I know who Captain Kangaroo is, but smoking cigarettes and I'm saying don't tell me I've nothing to do. That sounds like a song, like a Steve Miller song or a movie, or I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's funny. Whips World, you didn't get me on this one, and thank you for rejuvenating my confidence, Whips World. And so listen, folks, what Whips World does every week is he sends a lyric from a song and he tries to get me. And most of the time he does, because I'm on the spot and I can't do it when I'm on the spot in front of 954,000 people. But this time he threw me one that he knew I would know. And I'll survive. Paranoid. I've lost the will to change, and I am not proud. Cold-blooded fake. I will shut the world away. If you are a Breaking Benjamin fan, you knew instantly that was I Will Not Bow. One of their greats. But then again, I am a sucker for Breaking Benjamin, so all of them are great to me. But that is one of their absolute best. So yeah, nice try on that one. Thank you. And now I'll get 10 of them wrong in a row. Is it Pulp Fiction? Melissa Jeswald said Pulp Fiction. Is that what it is? Statler Brothers? Okay, now everybody's saying Pulp Fiction. Okay. So how would I not know that? Shame on me. Somebody said, if you don't like Oscars, you can go F yourself. And then it got hidden by the automatic system on YouTube. But don't worry, Quincy's Fish Cave. I unblocked it for you.
But if your name was Eric Wyrock, he wouldn't have. I'm just kidding. It's too fresh.
That is not true.
It's funny now, Eric.
Leslie Perry said, a guy at work said he feeds his Oscars dog food and bologna. I say bologna because bologna just doesn't sound right. Bologna. Not exclusively. I told him that was cruel and he laughed. Am I wrong? Yes.
Why?
Because dog food. Would I feed my fish dog food? No. But if there wasn't anything else, sure.
Better than a fish starving.
Because...
But hot dogs, people shouldn't even eat.
I love hot dogs, especially Nathan's. Slice them down the middle, fry them on both sides. That's good eating right there.
We did know a person that would feed their Oscar
just mustard. No ketchup. Ketchup is for hamburgers and French fries, not hot dogs. But I... Leslie, would not feed that to my fish. But if you really think about it, the contents of both is very similar to what is in fish food. It might not be the same meals that are making up the recipe, but the dog food thing is actually a lot more common than you think. A lot of farms do that, because they can buy dog food in such mass quantities, like big, gigantic bags, because they're feeding 500,000 fish a day. They go through there and they feed dog food. I don't know what kind of dog food it is, but it's probably the cheapest, generic brand dog food in the world, or even cat food. I've heard of people doing that with cat food too. Again, would I do it? No, because
Which makes it even worse. If it's the cheapest possible brand, it's probably not good for dogs either.
well, I mean, we could talk about that all day long, but it's, again, it's better than nothing. And bologna.
That reminds me of what we were talking about today. I like literally called you in the kitchen and I was like, something that just crossed my mind and I had to tell you. I was like, people say vase and they also say, some people say vase. And I feel like the people that say vase are the same people that say beta. Because I say vase and I say beta. So there.
Yeah, you just got us into all kinds of trouble. But no, I mean...
Is there a lot of Voss people here? Voss?
This
is my Voss?
It's vase.
Vase. My vase that I keep my beta in. Whatever.
Have y'all visited our Facebook page recently? Because we have a new little slogan on there that was created for us. But it's absolutely brilliant. And it says, there's no better place, BETTA, a little play on words. And there's a few of them. I know one of them is that the one that's on Facebook? You sent me the picture today. Is that one just, there's no better place? Where is it?
I don't know.
I just got to find it here. I know you sent it to me. Jeez, you send me so many pictures. It's absolutely out of control. There it is. It doesn't get better than this, is what it says on the Facebook page. And it's brilliant, and I love it so much. But for normal people like her and I, who say beta, it doesn't really make sense. Doesn't get any beta than this, but it still kind of works. But when we saw that, we were like, yeah, we have to do that. That just makes total sense. But the beta thing that's never going to go away. People are always going to argue about that. And you're just not going to be able to change my mind on it.
I just like to.
I've never said vase in my life. I've always been a vase guy.
Me too.
Andrew Pure, hope I'm saying your name right, became a member. Welcome to the team. Glad to have you. Joe Provenzano, here's to eating Cookie Crisp like it's Cookie Crisp, my favorite. Cookie Crisp is a great cereal. I've been very much into Oops All Berries lately. It's a good cereal. That's good eating right there. Melissa Jeswald, I can't handle not having live chats for 2 weeks, but I understand. Love you too. Hey, you know what you can do? The video that we're going to be putting out next Thursday is going to be in the neighborhood of 30 minutes long. You can just watch it 3 times. That'll do it for you. You get your fix. But yeah, I mean, I know there's going to be some people that are going to be disappointed, and I understand, but we got to do what we got to do at this point. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks. Don't worry.
Right.
Rachel Shinlin. Yep, there it is. It's a Statler Brothers song, Counting Flowers on the Wall That Don't Bother Me at All. That's the one with the Captain Kangaroo thing. But there's people saying that. There's people saying Pulp Fiction. I'm so confused. I grew up listening to Statler Brothers. And all of that old school country music, which I don't even know if you would consider Statler Brothers to be country music. But you know what I'm saying. Xanadu, last time I wore my KGT If You Don't Like Oscars shirt, some guy offered me $50 for it. Wow. I just laughed at him. Now, let me ask you this. Did he want that because he liked the saying? Please tell me he wanted to pay $50 for it because he just loved us. That would make me feel special.
You're so funny.
But no, hey, should have sold it to him. I mean, hey. But,
yeah, but that.
But we were selling them for like 26, so you wouldn't have made all that much money on it.
Right. Well, I haven't done plan of the day.
We'll do it.
All right. So, all right. I have 2 plants. The one. Okay. So let me. All right. Let me show you. Oh no, it's caught. All right. So I'm I'm propagating my plant in a vase, V-A-S-E. And one of the reasons why I wanted to show this is because it's winter time. And in the winter, you know, things get dry and your skin gets dry and just everything is not the same as summer. So I like to propagate my plants in the winter time to have that extra water, you know, the moisture, humidity, you know, get that going in my house. So that's why I am showing you this. Yeah, it's a, you know what? I'm having a brain too. A silver, okay, I'm having a brain toot. I usually know what I'm talking about when it comes to plants when I show them, but it's a silver whatever. Okay, so it's really pretty. And I have like 5 of them that I'm propagating because I had a super huge plant and I was like, it's getting way too leggy and it just wasn't growing enough on top. So I decided this is the time to propagate it, get my vases out, get the humidity rolling in here and start to, you know, just have that going on now. So the second one that I wanted to show you is a plant that I did a short about probably 10 or 11 months ago, and somebody in comments had said something about an update on it because there were people saying that you can't use this plant in the conditions that I had planted it in, and I want to prove them wrong because yes, you can. And I probably going to pronounce it incorrectly, but who cares? I'm good at that.
It's a vase plant.
No. No. How do you pronounce it the correct way? Dracaena, I don't know. But I spelled Dracaena. That's the proper way to spell it. I know I don't say it right, though. And if Furlow was here, he'd probably tell me that Dory said he would say that Dory is laughing at the way I'm pronouncing it. But the Dracaena marginata, whatever. But I had scaped this teeny tiny little thing. I bought it at Walmart, the bowl, and I got the plant at Walmart.
It's the very first short we did on this channel.
And I have driftwood in it, river rock, sand, some gravel, a little bit of moss. And the only negative thing I could say about the condition of this plant is that some of the stems, the leaves, stems, they're a little chewed up on the end because Reno. So other than that, it's done great. It hasn't been in a lot of sun like it should be since we moved it here because I had to put it up. So the cat wouldn't chew on it. But that's the only negative thing about it. Is probably a good 10 of them got chewed up before I caught him. He was up on the table and he was just eating it like it was catnip. And I was like, no. But it's done really well. And it probably would have done even better if I had it in the sun more. But yeah, it's surviving. It's doing good.
All right, Whisworld did it again, and this one's for you.
Me?
He didn't specify that this one's for you. But this is the very first one that he's ever done that I am 100% confident you will get. Are you ready for me to say it?
I don't know.
And by me saying it, you'll probably get it easier. The real thing don't do the trick. No. You better make up something quick. You're going to burn to the wick. Ooh. Come on.
Can't read it again.
The real thing don't do the trick. That's all I got to do. You got it now, don't you? You better make up something quick. I can't do that other part because she gets way up there.
Oh.
You're going to burn.
I'm not having a brain too. Don't sing.
Ooh.
Barracuda.
I knew it. I knew she would get it.
Oh, see, I have to. Yeah, I like
Don't
that.
y'all clip that and put it on a short somewhere, me singing Heart, because That was embarrassing. I wasn't trying to sound good. I mean, who can sound like Nancy Wilson? That's almost
the
impossible.
only person that would do that would be Bob.
That was Westworld.
Put it up as a short.
No, Westworld would do that too because he likes trolling us. But
I know, but Bob's the one that did it and put that short up. That time, I didn't know. I was just like, skip it.
Westworld, aren't you so proud of her that she got one? I mean, it
took me a second.
A bit of a softball, but we asked for that.
Yeah.
So that's good. Yeah, I mean, and listen, y'all can do whatever you want to do with that. Can't nobody sing like Nancy Wilson can. So don't even try because you'll embarrass yourself. Anyway, Adam Schoenwald gifted 5 channel memberships. Again, it's becoming almost a weekly thing for him.
Thank you.
You are the man. Thank you so much for that. Catwoman VA, I got the clip-on Hygger planted light for my bow front tank, and it's a game changer. It's only been in a month, and the plants are doing amazing. I've had no luck with plants, but the water sprite is huge, and the Aponogetons bloomed flowers. That is perfect. We used to have those, and I agree. They are amazing lights. If you have the same ones that we did, and we still have a whole bunch of them that are in use right now in the fish room, very, very good lights. And yeah, I couldn't agree more. I love those. And if you're going to ask, why have we not picked those up again? My answer is, I don't know, because they're really good little lights, and we just haven't gotten them. I'm sorry. Kaylin Shepherd. You didn't think I read that email, but I did, my friend. Gonna miss the 2 live streams, but glad you're doing videos at least. Yeah, let me tell you something. The video next Thursday is a lot of fun. If you are a fan of this channel, you're going to enjoy it very much. If you like in the live streams when her and I go back and forth and we break each other's balls and we have fun, there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of Michael Scott jokes, and we had fun. We basically let the camera run. There is some editing because we had to, I had like 2 hours worth of footage. I was not going to put out a 2-hour video. I had to cut it down. So I cut out a lot of the long periods where there's nothing happening. But it's a fun video, and I think you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Brock Bellinger, or Bellinger, but I think it's Bellinger. I'm getting a pair of discus tips on live plants. My lady?
Okay, so when I hear you're getting a pair of discus, I'm thinking you're getting a breeding pair. So I'm going to answer this 2 ways. If you're getting a breeding pair, then you don't really need plants. You just need water in an aquarium with a piece of slate and let them do their thing. That's where I'm going with that. Now, I don't recommend getting 2 discus and then letting them live their life, only the 2 of them in a tank with plants. Like, I would recommend getting 6. Get a minimum of 6. They like to be in groups. They're like a family. They like to be together. They like to swim around together and do their thing. But I don't know. I just wouldn't get 2. I just wouldn't get 2. I feel like you would have a better your tank would be happier. Your fish would be happier if you had a few more. And then if you're going to put plants in there, that's when it gets fun, because you can use swords, you can use Vallisneria, you can use almost anything. If that's what you want, as far as a planted discus tank. But I think that tanks with discus in it are really pretty with just a hardscape. And let the discus be the center of attraction. Let the discus be the main thing of the tank. But if you're going to get plants, like I said, you can get swords and Vallisnerius and whatever you can grow. That's the best plant.
Rachel came in again. I'm not going to botch your last name again, Rachel. I got
Schildman?
too much.
Is it Rachel Schildman?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not that hard.
I don't know why I don't say the name right, but I don't want to disrespect your name. So, gonna miss you guys the next 2 weeks. Enjoy your break from the madness. Thank you. We appreciate being missed, but you're not gonna miss us. You might not have an hour and a half long stream of me sitting here singing heart songs and Breaking Benjamin songs, but you're gonna have a nice video to watch. And I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun. So don't worry about it. And Big Snack Pack came in with $1 super chat. Nothing to be said. Just look at this cool picture of me with the cigar. That's all it is. And you know what? That's enough, because that's a cool picture. If
cool.
I looked cool with a cigar hanging out of my mouth, I would smoke a lot more cigars. But
you know what? Hey, guess what? I have got a poll. I did a poll yesterday.
Do you now?
I'm back to doing my polls every Wednesday. Now, that was a break just because I kind of wanted to see if it makes a difference or not. But you know what? I honestly just missed doing the polls. So I was like, I don't care if it makes a difference or not for our channel. I think it is a way for us as a community to help each other, and you can learn from other people, and that's why I wanted to do the polls again. So anyways, look for the polls on Wednesdays. All right, yesterday's was, how often do you clean your aquarium lids? It only got 4.6 thousand votes, probably the least I've ever had, 123 likes and 67 comments. So, you could choose every water change, at least once a month. I've never cleaned my lids. I don't have lids, or other, because you have to put other, or, well, I get yelled at. So, the one that got the most was 30%. 30% of people clean their lids at least once a month, which is really low. 26% of people, I've never cleaned my lids. Okay. 21% of people, every water change. It's good. And 14%, I don't have lids. All right. And 10% was other. So I think it's a preference for one. I think that if you have a Planet Aquarium, I think you should clean your lids every single time you do a water change, just because when stuff gets on the lids, whether it's underneath the algae or dust on top or whatever, you're messing with the lights going through to help your plants. That's what I think. You're paying all this money for lights. Well, clean your lids. They're going to work better. But some of the comments, Allie said, my tank is too new to need a cleaning yet, but I will start doing it when I do regular changes. Good job, Allie. Curtis Crump said, generally I give it a wipe down once a month to remove the buildup if it's bad, then as needed. And that makes sense too. Jamie Fullerton said, having deep fully Planet tanks, I need all the light I can get, so keep my glass sliders spotless. Yeah. Valley Audit said, it's a constant. My kitty spends her time on them and always seem to make a mess. I feel ya. Kate Harris said, I don't use a lid, have plants growing out of the water. Love it. Riff Waters, pretty much just when people are coming over. And you know what? Riff Waters, I love your honesty. Because I do a lot of things too right before people come over. Not just the fish house, stuff like that. I mean, like the house, somebody's coming over. Oh my gosh, I better clean this or that or whatever. Something you don't always do. And Jeff Hester said 2 to 3 months or when algae becomes visible. All right. So that was fun.
I have to change the subject here and talk about something that's very tragic.
Oh.
I've committed one of the worst sins of fans of rock and roll music, particularly classic rock and roll. And I'm ashamed of myself. Oh. And I hope that I don't lose all of our subscribers after this unforgivable mistake that I made earlier when I was singing the heart song Barracuda. I spoke to the fact that nobody can sing like Nancy Wilson. And when the words came out of my mouth, I said, no, wait, that's not right. And nobody corrected me. So you should all also be ashamed of yourself. But it was Ann, not Nancy. And that I started thinking that. And when you were doing your poll, I was like, I can't believe I did that. Like, Nancy's the guitar player and Ann is the singer. I don't know why I did that. And I feel horrible. You know, that would be like, hey, wasn't that singer Axl Rose, you know, the singer from Rolling Stones? Isn't he the best? Like, how can you make that mistake? That's just dumb. But I apologize. Ann Wilson, I apologize. One of the best female singers that's not named Pat Benatar that's ever done it. Anyway, Michael Rivera, new 150-gallon, don't know what to stock it with. Already have African cichlids in a 125. Daggone it. That was going to be my first thing. And random YouTube channels unsubscribed. I know. I don't blame you. To mean, you get the Wilson sisters wrong. You just call it a day. I mean, there's nothing more really to talk about. Steven, they are from the band Heart, a classic rock band, female-led band that's probably the biggest female band in rock and roll, female. Anyway, I mean, listen, 150 gallons, you got a whole lot of room in there. So there are some fish that could be categorized as monster fish that you can do in there. Oscars, perhaps. You know, that's always going to be my first vote. But you know, fish like
Discus?
Jack Dempsey's. We'll get there.
Discus?
Jack Dempsey's,
Discus?
Firemouths, you know, all the green terrors, Midas, things like that. You can get into the large cichlids.
Guppies?
Not going to be able to have that many of them. But if you want to go dramatic and showstopper and take people's breaths away, the discus are super expensive though, especially when you have a large tank like that. So how about go with the poor man's discus? I shouldn't have said that. By the way, R.I.P. to Hagrid, by the way. Terrible news to hear that the other day.
That's all that we're going to see now in the
because I said I shouldn't have said that. That was kind of his thing in the first Harry Potter movie. But angels,
definitely.
Angels would be great in there, and they're very, very affordable compared to discus. You know, you can get 5 angels for the price of 1 discus and have a magnificent tank. So there you go. Angels, discus, or big cichlids. That's what I would do. Kaylin Shepard, again, it's going to be hard for me to get used to that. I'm sorry, because I'm just so used to calling you Callan. It looks like Callan. But you told me, Kaylin, so I'm going to make sure I say that right. Tell Elon he better get on the ball so you can stream from the fish house, because I used to live vicariously through you watching your Oscars. Aww. I eventually want an Oscar tank, but won't do it until I can get 125 gallon. Well, you're doing the right thing, because we need, Hagrid did die, Leslie. I forget his name. Shame on me. But the actor that played Hagrid passed. It was very sad. He was in his 70s. So, you know, he had a good run of it, but.
And you remember when I heard about it, I said, isn't he the heavier set looking guy that looked like Rico Stan? He reminded me of Rico Stan with the long hair and the beard. But I said heavier, and yeah.
Trying to remember his name. You sent me that the other night. I sent my daughter a clip of the show The Watcher. And it's a pretty good show if you want to check that out. But I sent her a clip from that where the guy calls his creepy neighbor Professor McGonagall, and I thought it was hilarious, and I sent that to my daughter because she's a Potterhead like I am. I'm looking for the post to try to remember his name. You send me so many daggone...
That's me, though.
I know. You sent me the thing saying that he had passed, but I already knew. But
right there.
There he is. Robbie Coltrane. Yep, and everybody's already putting it in there.
Coltrane, like from Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, Roscoe P. Coltrane. Yeah, I was really sad to hear that. You know, we've lost quite a few actors from that series, and you know, Hagrid was a favorite by many, and so that was very sad. But anyway, Kaylin, you know, Elon is not helping us out there.
I know, like we're still waiting.
It's a shame, but when we get it out there, you know, we can figure something out. It'll be so much better out there than in here. I before we go, I think I would recommend the show The Watcher. Not going to do any spoilers, don't worry, except for the fact that he called his neighbor Professor McGonagall, which I thought was hilarious. What I will say, though, if you know the story of the Broadduses, the real Watcher story, if you know that story, don't go into that show thinking it is a true telling of that thing that happened, because it's not. It's not even close. It's very good. It's very entertaining. The finale was a little like, okay, come on. You know, it was a little much, but I really enjoyed the show. The story is very good, and the acting is very good. I would recommend it to anyone. And Stifler's mom is in it. But she doesn't look like she did when she was Stifler's mom. You know, she's a few years older.
That wasn't the part that...
That's the one that...
She just looked not good.
Yeah. But it's a good show. I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. I think it took me 2 days to get through that show. I wasn't feeling good, so I just binged it, and it's really good. I enjoyed it. But it is not at all like the real story. It's basically like they got the idea from that, and then they ran with it. And they did a good job. It was fun. And they also incorporated another story. This I was not expecting. Another real life story that happened, which is the John List story. Again, I'm not spoiling anything, so don't worry. If you know the story of John List, they incorporate that into it too. And they do it in a pretty clever way. I enjoyed the hell out of the show. And, you know, again, the ending was a little bit much, but I did like it. So I would recommend it for sure. I would not recommend it as much as House of the Dragon, because come on, that's the best show that's been out in the last couple of years. Daemon Targaryen's the best character that's ever come out of the entire Song of Ice and Fire series. I don't care what anybody says. That guy's perfect. And Matt Smith is phenomenal as him.
Yeah, I like that part where he was like,
Say
it. Say it.
I watched that 50 times in a row the other night on, somebody did a short of that. If you've watched the series, you know what we're talking about when Damon said, say it. And I watched that 50 times in a row. I could not get enough of it. I love Daemon Targaryen. The other one is when he stepped in between Aemond and Jaehaerys, I believe is his name, when they were fighting. And he just stood between them and then started laughing at Aemond. I love that character so much. I love that character. And I don't think they could have done a better job casting him. If you're not a Game of Thrones fan or a George R.R. Martin fan, don't worry. I'm going to say it. It's better than Game of Thrones. It is.
I've already started liking it better than Game of Thrones.
It is better than Game of Thrones.
Even the book, I like so far. I like it better than the Game of Thrones books.
Yeah, it is really good. If you are an HBO subscriber, watch House of the Dragon. It is phenomenal. But it's 9:34. We are already impeding on Fish Room Fever and Chattanooga Ed's, the nicest man in the world. We're already impeding on their time, so we need to get out of here. The cool thing is you don't have to do anything. If you want to keep this going and you want to go to a stream that talks more about fish than we do, don't do anything. Stay where you are. You're automatically going to go right over to that when we're done. But I'm going to let her say goodbye to all of you.
Oh, okay. All right. Wow. It's kind of, I've never had to say bye and not say I'll see you next week. So we will put a link, or not a link. We will...
You don't have to do anything. Just
I'm talking about in 2 weeks. We'll put a notification thing up or whatever. A post. We'll make a post. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the right thing to say about YouTube. Like, I've never done this before. Anyway, so we'll put a post up, saying, hey, we're back, for the live stream in a couple weeks, because you'll probably forget all about us and move on to another channel that streams and everything and not remember us. But we'll remind you in 2 weeks that we are still here, and we will put that out. So anyways, I hope everyone has a really good 2 weeks until we see you again. And have a great night.
Whips World, tell me a character in the entire Song of Ice and Fire series that is better than Daemon Targaryen. You can't do it. So although you vehemently disagree with me, I don't care, because you're just wrong. Daemon Targaryen, the best character George R.R. Martin has ever written. Bye.
Bye.
I forgot to tell the story about Audrey Hepburn.